If you need to get more reviews, this is the episode for you. This is Outside the Box, the podcast devoted to supporting Central PA's small business. Like I said, we'll be talking about the 8 ways to get reviews. Last week, I think it was last Thursday, I talked about Google My Business, which I will stress again. And I mentioned that you need to get reviews on there, and reviews are important for all kinds of different ways. So in this episode, I'm going to give you 8 different ways that you can get reviews. Obviously, this isn't going to be all the ways you can get reviews, but 8 ways that you can try and go get reviews. You have to be intentional about it. So I'm going to give you 8 ways to be intentional about it. I am your host, DerekBicksler, Realtor and digital marketing geek right here in Central PA. I grew up on the hill in Harrisburg, went to Mechanicsburg High School, go Wildcats, and went up to Penn College of Technology in Williamsport. I've been back here. Had a few sales jobs before I started selling real estate 15 glorious years ago. Please contact me if you need to buy or sell a home. You can text me, email me, throw a rock through my window, send a carrier pigeon, whatever you need to do. We need inventory right now pretty bad, and it's also not quite as crazy for buyers. So if you're out in the market looking for something to buy, it's a good time to get back out there and look for something before school starts and we go into the holiday season and all that. If you'd like to subscribe to our email, go to supportcentralpa.com to get networking, mixer updates and invites, episode announcements, and exclusive special offers, of which I might have one at the end. A reminder to ask a question in the comments. If you have a question for me, obviously you can go back and watch this again and I can provide the slides and all that. And there's some resources in the description above or below or wherever you're watching this. But if you have a question, I'll answer it. And if I don't see it now, I will come back and address it later. If I don't see it, a reminder that all the replays are available on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and soon on iTunes and all the audio platforms as soon as I get a chance to upload everything there. And we will get into it now. So the 8 ways to get reviews. I don't think I have to go too much into why reviews are important, but I guess I will. Let me share my screen here. All right. So like I said, I don't need to hit home too much about why you need to get reviews, but a few reasons why they are important is, number one, it makes the search engines and algorithms like you more. So obviously when people go on to Google or Yelp or Bing or whatever, but usually it's going to be Google, and you heard me harp on the Google My Business last week. So if you haven't watched that episode and you're not hip to the Google My Business, watch that episode and get that up to date. But when somebody goes on Google to look for, say, plumber near me, all the people that the algorithm likes and that Google likes are going to come to the top. So the people with more reviews generally are going to go more towards the top, and with better reviews too. If you have 300 reviews, but they're all ones, that's not good. So good reviews and more reviews and consistent reviews are important for the search engines and algorithms to like you and to put you higher up when people search for what you offer. Another reason is social proof, to show potential customers. Obviously, when people search for these things, that's why they put you up higher, because you have lots of reviews and social proof to prove to people that you're good at what you do. People want to see that other people enjoy your products and services, that you do a good job, you're professional, all that. So words from other people and not from you as the business are always better. So reviews give you more social proof. And then also it gives you great content to post and share. Obviously, we all need content to post on our social media and Instagram and in the stories and all these different places. So reviews also give you a chance to, you can post these things and also put on your website. Most sales websites and landing pages, any really good one is going to have a bunch of reviews on it. Maybe a review section, maybe, a section and then a review, a section and then a review, or whatever. But reviews are also good to put on your website, obviously, and to our fodder for posts. So I don't think I have to get into too much. We'll get right into it. 8 ways to get the reviews. So number one, email signature. I'm doing this one right now. You could switch this in and out, but so right in your email signature, you have your regular email signature, Derek Bicksler, RSR Realtors, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe I have my website or whatever, but typically in my email signature, I have my regular part. That's all that normal stuff. And then what right above it is whatever I'm trying to promote at that time. Maybe it's my listing services or buyer services, or trying to promote a charity event that I'm raising money for or something. But right now I have it says something like, bless me for a review, click here. And then in parentheses, I'll be your best friend, smiley face, or something to that effect. So you just put it there, and it's always there in my email signature. When I do a good job, sometimes people will just click on that and give me one. I get reviews that way, and it's a great way to get them. So email signature, put it right in there. So every time you send an email, pretty much you're asking for a review, but you're not outwardly shoving it in their face or anything. It's just kind of there. And if they're happy with it, a little tip there, if somebody sends you an email that's glowing like, this is awesome, thank you so much, you've changed my life, your product and service is the best thing ever. When you reply back to that to say thank you, take a couple of those enters. You usually have some space between the body of your email and your email signature down there. Take some of that space away and bring it up closer. So it's thanks, blah, 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 you're the best, and make it all about them. But then also really close now, it says, bless me with a review here. And that a lot of times will get them because it's closer. They take more notice to it. And right then at that moment is when they're the most satisfied and happy with you. So they might take action and click that. So email signature, really good one, does work. Give a review, then ask for reciprocation. The reciprocation method is great. It's pretty straightforward. Find a business. Maybe it's somebody you know. If it's somebody you know a little bit, or at least frequent a lot, that's a little bit better. But go on, give them a review on Google, copy and paste it, put it on Facebook, put it on Yelp. Yelp's a little harder to give reviews on. Yelp, you have to be vetted via their system a little bit. You can't just go on there right away and give a bad review or something. It doesn't quite work that way. But Yelp, Bing, if it's a realtor or something, you could go on Zillow and paste it there too. So put that review and make sure it's a couple questions, not just 5 stars and don't write anything. Make sure, not questions, a couple sentences, a sentence or two, a nice little paragraph, 5 stars, copy and paste that everywhere. And then go to that person, and they're definitely going to notice that. If they're a good business owner and they're watching all their social media and everything, they're going to notice that for sure, especially if you post it in a bunch of different places, Facebook and Google being the main two that you would probably do it on. But put it all those places and then reach out to them and then say, hey, hopefully they go to you and say, thank you for all the reviews. Can I repay you? And at which point you send them your link. Again, refer back to the episode on the Google My Business to find your review link. And get your reviews on your Google My Business, not on some other platform. That's where you want to send people. Get your little link, send them that one and say, awesome, please send me a review. Just click here and do so. And they will be likely to reciprocate. And if they don't, on their own, come to you to thank you and ask you what they can do to help and reciprocate, then you can just reach out to them proactively and say, hey, I don't know if you noticed, I left you a review, yada, yada, yada. I'd love to leave it somewhere else, offer a little bit more. If there's some place that I missed, if you're on Zillow and I didn't leave it there, or on Angie's List, or if there's some trade site or some place I missed that I could also put it on, please let me know. I'm happy to promote you. Oh, and by the way, if you want to reciprocate or help me out, I'll be your best friend, blah, blah, blah. Here's a link. You can click right here. And sometimes you can even write the review for them to copy and paste. And that's always a step when you're asking somebody manually to do it. You can always write a review for them that they can copy and paste. You want that to be in their words and to be apt. And if they copy and paste it, I believe that is their words and they've chosen to use those words to leave the review. But it does take some of that friction away, or they can at least have a starting point and then they can change it up. Number 3, thank you email and or text sequences for specific purchases. So if somebody buys something or has a service, you should have a thank you email sequence. I won't get into that. Going out to those people on email, it says, thanks for the services, blah, 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 blah. Here's where to reach us for service. All the stuff you need to tell them after the fact. And then in there somewhere, and that should be multiple emails, but again, I won't get into that, but somewhere in those emails should be and if you'd like to leave us a review, please click here, same idea, get that link from your Google My Business page, put it in here, and ask them for a review in those thank you email sequences. Or if you do text sequences as well, you can put it in there. Number 4, friends and family. That's pretty straightforward. Again, just go to your friends and family. Again, with that link, make it pretty frictionless for these people. But say, go to this link, give me a review. I really appreciate it. You do, a little tip on this one, you do want to make sure that they're not saying, I'm Derek's mom. And man, I need a drink. And I just spilled my coffee on my mouse pad. All right. So you don't want it to say, I'm Derek's mom and I think he's awesome. You should really use him. So your family members and friends. Did I go past it? Friends and family. So your family members and friends can leave you reviews, but make sure they're not pointing out the fact that they are friends and family and that's how they're related. And hopefully maybe some of them have kind of interacted with you professionally, or they themselves have businesses, and they can speak to your professionalism, even if they do know you because of something else. Got this coffee now. That's the worst spill I've ever had on there. Number 5, employees, staff, ask their sphere. So you can go to your employees and staff. Obviously, if you're a solopreneur like myself, you can't do this. But if you have employees and staff, you can go to them and ask them to ask their sphere being their past clients, their past customers, their friends and family. Again, you can have them do all these things all these 8 things that we're talking about. You could even have a training maybe for your employees and staff to teach them how to get more reviews, to take that link and disperse it everywhere. You could have a standard email signature, like I said, that has that "give us a review right here" thing in it that you disperse and throughout your company. So email or employees and staff are a great way to get the word out and get more reviews and get everybody in on it. Maybe even have a prize or of some sort, or a contest or something, who can get the most reviews, or make a game out of it or something. Number 6, manual thank you follow-up with closed clients and customers. So this one, a lot of the other stuff, like the thank you sequence, the thank you email sequence that I mentioned, that's more of an automated thing. As soon as a receipt goes out, then these emails go out with what they need to know after the purchase. And one of those things is, oh, can you, by the way, if you're happy with our services, please leave us a review here or whatever. This is more of a manual thing. So if you are doing tons of purchases, you're selling thousands of t-shirts online every month, you can't do this. But if you're a real estate agent or an insurance agent or anything, even maybe car sales or something, someone who has a little bit lower volume, you can manually follow up with people, thank them for the sale, and ask them for a review. So it could be text format, could be email, could be a letter, whatever it is. Letter doesn't work so well because you can't include that link. But again, a text and email asking them, saying, I hope you're, and this is, again, not an automated thing. It's actually you with a nice personal text. Hey, I loved working with you. I hope you liked working with me as well. Yada, yada. If you could be so kind as to give me a review here, I would be super, super grateful, blah, blah, blah. Write it in your own words, but manually follow up with people and ask for reviews. And you generally want to do it when you're still fresh in their mind, and also actually make sure that they are happy with your services. If you have a client where you're not quite sure, and maybe something went south in the deal and they don't have a great taste in their mouth or something, then maybe you don't ask them for one. But manually following up with people, especially if they're happy and you're close to them and have a good relationship with them, they feel a little bit more obligated to do it and are more happy to do it anyway. So that's a good one. Number 7, past clients and customers. And I'm not going to spill my coffee this time. Past clients and customers. So this is like a list you have, maybe that list of 300, 4,000, 10,000, 25, whatever that number is, that list of past clients that you have and customers that you send emails to periodically, hopefully. So this is that list of like all-time clients, and you can send out emails if you are doing that weekly email, monthly email, whatever that regular email sequence is. You could throw in every once in a while give us a review if you're happy with something, with past clients and customers. So, and you do want to make sure, though, I will point out, if you have never sent an email to these people or text them or called them or anything, and the list is 5 years old, and you all of a sudden upload this and send out an email and say, please give us a review, I doubt, it's not going to get to their email inbox very well with their servers, and they don't know who you are for the most part because it's old and they don't know who you are. But also, you haven't warmed them up. They aren't happy. They aren't fresh. They aren't used to hearing from you. So the likelihood of them clicking on that and giving a review is pretty low. So past clients and customers are a great place to go to get reviews, but you do want to make sure they are somewhat warm and not just completely oblivious to you and have no idea who you are anymore. Having said that, if you have a list, start sending to them. Whether you get a lot or not, you can start sending now. Whether it's this kind of email or your regular email sequences, start sending now, and then you can just clean that list over the next couple months, and weed out the ones that are definitely junk or definitely unsubscribing or aren't opening the emails, and you can scrub them out, get to the core list that are wanting to hear from you, and then be consistent with it from there. So 7, past clients and customers. Number 8, last one. Last one that I list here. Like I said, there are tons. And let me know if you have anything, drop them in the comments. Let me know some other ideas, ways to get reviews. I would love to hear them and put them into action myself. Number 8 that I have here, networking groups and testimonial parties. So this is fun, and I will give you a tip while we're going through this. Networking groups and testimonial parties. So when you get together, say you have a weekly meeting. I'm in a networking meeting. We meet Wednesdays at noon. So every Wednesday, we don't do this, but this is a good idea. And I've proposed it once, but I didn't follow up on it. But I have done it in other groups. So every Wednesday, you get together and everybody's doing their 30-second commercial, yada, yada. But you should also maybe exchange with one person. So you pull a name out of the hat and 2 people exchange that I'm going to give you a review on Google and you're going to give me a review on Google. So everybody, and then the next week, so everybody's getting a review on Google or wherever they want to. If you got a whole bunch on Google and you're beating everybody and now you want to boost your presence on Angie's List or whatever, maybe you start sending people there. But you have kind of a Google matchup, a reviews matchup at your networking group, and do it that way. And the reason you do it that way and not a testimonial party, like is my other option here, which I suppose you could still do, but I'll probably take that off next time I do this. You could have a day. So say it was in that networking group and we said, okay, every week we're all going to devote, all of us are going to leave a review for one of us. So let's say I go this week and everybody's going to leave a review for me. So I get there and Google's going to see that 30 people just gave this person a review from the same location at the same time, saying a lot of the same words and verbiage and everything, all with glowing 5 stars. And it's just going to look staged and they're not going to buy it. And a lot of times they will delete them or get rid of them or not show them or put you down in the search or penalize you in some way. So testimonial parties, not so great if you're doing it in that way, where a whole big flood of testimonials come in at one time from one location. But if it's a testimonial party where you are doing more, like I mentioned before, in a networking group, maybe you exchange every week with one person, or everybody agrees to give one business a review, but not at the same time. I'm going to give one this week. Then next week I'm assigned to give one. And then the third week it's someone else or something like that. But getting together with other people that you already network with and being purposeful about a review. I like to mention in my networking group, whenever we're at the end, the last thing that we do is, does anybody have any testimonials or stories or announcements or anything? And people give these great testimonials. And I'm always thinking, first of all, we should be recording it. Somebody should, as soon as somebody says, I have a testimonial, somebody should pop up with their phone and record that for video, because that's gold, gold, gold. But also, after they're done speaking and giving them a glowing recommendation, I always say, have you given a review for them on Google? Because that would be fantastic. And it's tangible, useful to them, and it actually could translate into dollars, because every time you leave a review, like I said, it boosts you up in the algorithm and you're going to come up higher in the search. When people search for plumbers near me, hopefully you beat the next people in there. So networking groups and testimonials and harnessing the power of your networking, your groups, your people, and your relationships already is a great way to get reviews as well. And they know you the best, hopefully, and have probably worked with you, so they can actually speak to the work you've done and write a little bit more, knowing you a little bit better. So those are the 8. I think I have a summary here. Yeah. Summary. So email signature, get that up in your email signature. I would just leave it there. Unless you have something else you're trying to promote, just throw it in there. Hey, bless me. I think mine literally says, bless me with a review. Click here. Has a here, and the here is a hyperlink to go to my Google review thing. And then in parentheses after that, it says, I'll be your best friend, smiley, big smiley face with teeth. So works really well. And again, if somebody gives you a really awesome email, you did an awesome job. When you reply, take a few of those returns out of there and move that give me a review thing up. So you're not actually asking for it, but it's right there and it's been there. So it's not going to seem out of place to them, but it's a little bit closer, catches their attention a little bit more, and you might get a review out of it. Number 2, give a review, then ask for reciprocation. So the reciprocation, give a review, and then ask those people. Hopefully they ask you, how can they help you? But if they don't, go to them manually and ask them to reciprocate. A thank you email and or sequences after a purchase. You should have emails and texts and follow-ups going out. So you need to ask a review during that process. Number 4, friends and family. Go to your friends and family and ask them to give you a review. Like I noted, make sure they're not stating that I'm his brother or I'm her mom or whatever the case may be. Don't say that, but they can give you a review, especially if they know you a little bit in your professional capacity and can speak to your competence. Number 5, employees, staff, ask their sphere. So employees and staff, like I said, pretty much just get your employees and staff, maybe train them on them, have them watch this video or something. But all these 8 and any others that you come up with, just train them on also how to get reviews. Maybe, like I said, disseminate and distribute that the email signature with the review in there. So everybody, just as standard, is always asking for reviews. So maybe that's something that you do, but get your employees and staff in on it as well if they are doing things. And you can even, I'll note there, another note to the getting the employees and staff. If you have a business like an HVAC, like something like a plumber or HVAC company or a service or something that goes out to homes, you can always hand something out. Or even if you're in a store, in a shop, when you close the sale, you can always hand those people also a physical thing that says scan here to give us a review, or give us a review and get 10% off. And then they come back and say, I gave a review. You look it up, say, yes, it's there, thanks. And they get their money off or something. So you can also come up with actual coupons. So that maybe could be even a number 9, a little bonus one there, coupons or rewards for giving reviews. And you want to make sure people aren't putting in their Google review, I got this free thing for this review, so I'm doing it. That's terrible. But you can kind of reward them, or at least, even if you're not rewarding them, you can do kind of a physical thing with your receipt also attached to it. Maybe you staple it to the receipt, or it's just on the receipt itself or whatever. So that's a number 9 bonus. Actually give them something physical that drives them to give you a review. Number 6, manual thank you, follow up, and close clients, customers. So that's recent closed clients and customers. Like, so if I just settled on the house, I'm going to kind of follow up with them a little bit. And then at some point in my system, I ask them for a review manually. So it's in my CRM to tell me and yell at me, you need to ask them for a review. But I manually do it. I go in, I write a nice text in the email. Usually I do it with text because that's a little bit personal. I write a text. I say, hey, nice working with you, yada, yada. I talk about something personal to them. It shouldn't feel canned. Some of it comes out a little bit canned. A lot of times my first draft feels a lot canned. Although I'm not copying and pasting it. It's just I've written it so many times that I write this thing, and then I go back and say that feels canned. I got to change that. I need to add in some personal touches for this client. Talk about that specific house, that specific purchase, whatever the case may be. Maybe something funny that happened during it, or something that they particularly enjoyed about the experience I mentioned in there. And then I politely ask for a review, and hopefully I've given enough value throughout the transaction, the purchase, the whole experience, that they want to give me a review. And again, sometimes you could even write a review for people when you send them and ask them for a review. And they can just copy and paste. Again, makes it easier. And if you wrote it, that it applies to them and they are copying, pasting it, and leaving the review themselves, they're saying, this is what I want to say. So it is their words, although they had some help writing it. And sometimes that can be a good way to highlight what you want them to highlight, rather than them writing something and it being a glowing review, but you would have preferred they mentioned and talked about how you are a great listing agent and you're awesome at marketing a home, rather than he's just a great agent, really responsive, professional, lots of knowledge. So if there's some little aspect of the job or of the product or of whatever you offer that you want somebody to highlight, that's especially a good time to write it for them, or at least put a note that could you highlight how good the listing service was and my marketing, yada, yada. And then number 8, networking groups and testimonial parties. Like I said, that's like if you get together with a group of people, whether it's virtual or in person, you could have maybe every week when you meet, you exchange partner. You have a Google review partner. So this week, me and Joe are going to exchange a Google review. And then next week, pull a name out of a hat, me and Mary are going to exchange a Google review and do that. So every week or every month or however often you do these, you're getting a Google review. And at some point, you're going to go through all the people in that group, in which case you need to get some more categories and people in your group or whatever. But there are also other things you could do, obviously. So that's a great thing. You can use your networking group and your sphere and your professional networking relationships that you have already. And then testimonial parties, like I said, I kind of want to delete that one. That idea was you kind of get together and we'll all give this place a review. But these days, that's a bad one. You don't want to do that one because Google and all the other places know that all those reviews came from the same place at the same time with the same verbiage, yada, yada. And it knows that it's fishy and kind of staged and everything. And they don't want that. So testimonial parties, if you're doing that in a way that I talked about with the networking groups, that could work. So there's your 8. If you have any others, drop them in the comments again. Let me get out of this and close it out. Stop share screen. There we go. All right. And I'm going to ask myself, no, I'm not going to do that. I was going to ask myself a random question, but I'm not. If you need to reach out to me, I am at agentderek.com. Email me, text me, or anything if you have any questions about buying or selling a home, or if you need help with your digital marketing, getting reviews, your Google My Business, Facebook, Instagram ads, all that stuff, coaching done for you, all that stuff. I can help you with that. If you're interested in an episode with me or a full business spotlight package, which includes Greg coming out to your business, showing behind the scenes and how the sausage is made, so to speak, and then an interview here with me, like you've seen with other businesses, a business spotlight interview, a little bit more in depth, and then a networking mixer at your business allowable. And COVID shouldn't be an issue anymore, but assuming your business can host a networking mixer, we can do it there. If you're interested in our special offers, join our email list. It's 1 email a week. I'm due for it this week. I'm late, obviously. It's Thursday. Usually send them out on Monday, but you can go to supportcentralpa.com, like I said in the top of the episode, and you can subscribe to our email there. And if you're watching this anywhere other than Facebook, if you're watching on LinkedIn or Instagram or YouTube or listening on iTunes or Spotify or wherever, please head over to Facebook and join our Facebook group, Central PA Supports Small. Yesterday I called it Facebook Supports Small Business, but it's actually called Central PA Supports Small Business. And we are about 12,000 members strong now, and all 12,000 of those are quality members, no spammers, no out of areaers. You have to be in Central PA, own or work here. So you can be a business owner or you can support businesses, but it's an awesome place to go and promote your business or find a business. If you need a plumber around here, you can go in there and ask who's the best plumber, and you're going to get awesome suggestions and results. Or if you need something obscure, it's an awesome place, especially for that. If Google can't answer, I need somebody somebody was asking one time how to move a shed. I need to move this shed from that corner to that corner. Well, how do you ask Google, I need a shed mover or whatever? So they went on there and said, I need somebody to move this shed. And there were a couple other odds and ends that they needed done. And they found somebody really, really quick. So head over there and join our Facebook group. I would love to have you. And if you want to do an episode outside of a business spotlight package, I'm happy to promote your business here in Central PA. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home, please reach out to me. We need inventory right now. And it's also dying down slightly for the buyers. So if you're out there looking for a house, it's a little bit better time to get out and start looking again. Text me, email me, throw a rock through my window, send a carrier pigeon, whatever you need to do. Just get a hold of me. Remember to support Central PA's small businesses like mine and everyone else's here in Central PA. Thanks for watching and listening. I hope you got something out of this. I do see one comment. Make sure it's not. Mark Ackley, helpful info. Thanks, Derek. You bet, Mark. Good to see him. Mark is a real estate photographer, owns a real estate photography company here in Central PA. So I'll give him a plug. Thanks for the comment, Mark. And thanks again, everybody, for watching and listening. And we will see you later. Peace out.